Hello, hello. Please take a seat. Hello, hello. The evening will begin, so come on down, take a seat. Siéntase. Plenty of seats in the front. Come on down. If anyone would like to have headphones to translate, there's translation into Spanish, headphones up here. Si quieres una traducción en español, hay el equipamiento arriba, afuera de la sala. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, bienvenidos, bienvenue, and welcome to the fourth edition of the Data Journalism Awards 2015 in Barcelona. We're very happy to have with us some very key sponsors. My name is Minter Dial. I run a small agency called The Mindset, talking about the mindset. I heard a lot about that today. What do you need to help change the mindsets in our industry? That's what I work on. I'm also part of an observatory of new technology trends called NetExplo. So I'm looking a lot about what you guys do in the media business, and it's a pleasure to be here. I'm also mdial on Twitter, and speaking of Twitter, there's a Wi-Fi that's open. It's called Gen Summit. Please go on and tweet away. The hashtag is Gen Summit. Very happy to also have our sponsors, our three key sponsors, which are Google, CaixaBank, and Knight Foundation. And I'd like very quickly to invite Luis Noguera, who's the CaixaBank director and president of the ceremony this evening. Luis, thank you.
Buenas tardes, good afternoon. I'm CosmoCaixa director, not CaixaBank. It's different, a little different. Good afternoon and welcome to CosmoCaixa, La Caixa Foundation Science Museum. We were in an institution that is visited by more than 700,000 people every day. Among them, 164,000 school children, who in many cases experience their first contact with science is in this building. We started in 1980 in this same place as a little science museum, and we were reinvented 11 years ago as a CosmoCaixa, one of the best science museums in Europe. Our museum is to bring science to the public and stimulate interest in science and the environment and promote science vocation, especially to young people. For us, it's a pleasure you be here, and I hope you enjoy our permanent exhibition and our treasure flooded forest, a piece of the Amazon here in Barcelona, here in CosmoCaixa, in our science museum. CosmoCaixa is the science and education center belonging to La Caixa Banking Foundation. Just another landmark is Caixa Forum, and we invite you visit in the new these years, of course. Caixa Forum's La Caixa Arts and Cultural Spaces. Science and art, but above all people, in particular, people who are at risk of social exclusion, are why La Caixa Banking Foundation exists. For the 7th consecutive year, we have maintained our budget at 500 million euros, making us the #1 private foundation in Spain, 2 in Europe, and 3 in the world. La Caixa Banking Foundation is the leading shareholder in CaixaBank, a financial institution with over 110 years of history behind it. This next video tells you more about CaixaBank. Thank you for your presence and welcome again to CosmoCaixa.
Sure. Sorry for the confusion. So a big thank you to CaixaBank. Thank you. And to Luis Nogueira. So I'm sure you're going to appreciate also not just a wonderful evening, but outside it's a magnificent place. So take the time to look out on the patio and the drop-dead views we have out here, as I encourage everybody to come on down and fill in the seats. There are plenty of seats. Come on down and make yourselves at home. The closer, the better. So, are we, and there's someone waving for you over there. Come on down. Are we ready? Yahoo! All right, let's roll the film. Alrighty, may I bring up onto the stage the director of the Data Journalism Awards, Mr. Simon Rogers, and Mr. Paul Steiger, president. All right, so you can take in here. The floor is yours, guys.
So, really, really pleased to be here. This is such an amazing awards. It's literally the only global data journalism awards awarded by the community for the data journalism community, and that's something incredibly special. So we'll thank Jem for that.
And this is my fourth year as president of the final jury, and it's been each year has been more thrilling than last. Every year, the entries, the finalists, and the winners have been better, and this is no exception. I think we have a tremendous group of awardees tonight, and I look forward to seeing them get their awards.
Absolutely. 500 entries from around the world, all kinds of organizations. You don't have to be a giant newsroom to win a data journalism award. And one of the special things this year, I don't know if we have the next slide, just like every year, as some of you might know, the amazing Le Monde cartoonist Plantu contributes a really kind of significant part of the awards. And for the fourth year running, he's done it again. So this is something that everybody who wins an award will not only get the joy of winning an award, they'll also get a unique piece of cartoon artwork.
And another thing that's very exciting to us is that we're in the middle of a great revolution in journalism, in which data journalism is taking its place alongside all of the other great historical attributes of journalism as being a driver of coverage. It's become more and more the generator of stories and the displayer of stories, the communicator of stories. So we're taking part in a revolution, and all of you are part of that revolution.
So we should talk a little bit about the jury, I guess.
By all means.
We have an extended jury this year, don't we?
We added 5 people to enhance the geographical and other diversity of the jury, and we managed to get them all together on a single conference call going across about 12 time zones. Simon, who lives in California, had to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning to participate, but he did it.
Of course, it was a joy. And anybody who ever gets a chance to take part in one of these phone calls, it's literally the most civilized discussion of data journalism ever. And Paul hosts this incredible thing and keeps this jury of incredibly strong personalities in line to come up with a verdict.
Well, and one of the things we have to do, of course, is that if any of the judges, and there were several cases of that, is affiliated with one of the finalists, they have to get off the call, and then we have to get them back on when we go to another category. But all that work too.
Exactly. So we should talk a little bit about the categories. We had 10 categories. But we have 14 awards. How is that, do you ask? How can we have 10 categories and 14 awards? And the reason is, for the first time, we decided to give people from some small newsrooms a chance to really compete with the giant newsrooms. It's one thing to have a ton of resources, and everybody can create a huge data journalism team if you have the money to do it. But there are some small newsrooms out there which are creating incredible data journalism, and we wanted to be able to recognize that. In fact, so all of these categories this year have been awarded. There was one category which hasn't, which is data journalism in a breaking news environment, which we increasingly think is important, but this year there really wasn't the kind of the quality of entrances we wanted to see for that.
But otherwise, it was totally dynamic.
It was, I mean, it was incredible, wasn't it? The kinds of entries we saw this year was
Right.
really exciting.
So we'll get out of the way and let's
Let
on
the show go
the
on.
show.
Thank you. Thank you very much, guys. Brilliant. All right. So, in the realm of thanking, I'd like to bring up onto stage our representatives from our sponsors. So I'd like to invite Alfredo Bustillo, Director of Sponsorship and Brand and Corporate Image of Caixa. Alfredo Bustillo, please come on up stage. Steve Grove from Google, and Shazna Nessa from the Knight Foundation. Come on up. All right. These kind of organizations do not happen if we don't have sponsors. We're very happy to really. So listen, will you tell us, Alfredo, tell us, what is the motivation for Caixa to support the Gen Awards? What are the DJA Awards and the Gen?
Well, we feel very comfortable to helping global editor networks and a great event like this, which promote the innovation and innovative models of information. In CaixaBank, we have a venture capital firm which specializes in identifying innovative companies, and dedicated to investing in startups in sectors such as media or industry or life sciences or whatever. So we feel very comfortable here, and if you add the strong commitment of our foundation to promote culture, science, or education, you realize that this is the place where we have to be.
And it's true that the media is one of the industries that's the most on the front edge, having to deal with all this happening, this disruption that's happening. So it's interesting to be involved with them.
Of course, of course.
Shazna, tell us about you. What's the motivation for the Knight Foundation to be involved in this?
So at Knight Foundation, we believe that an informed and engaged community makes for a better democracy. And so, of course, that's where data journalism plays a very important role in the support we would like to give, which is why we're here today. And while I am here,
Go for it.
for those of you who aren't familiar with the Knight Foundation, we have something called the Knight News Challenge. We have 2 of these every year, and it's an open call to everybody with a good idea. Each time it's thematic, and we have around $3 million that we give out as part of the Knight News Challenge. And this upcoming one is going to be around the theme of data. It's actually our second data news challenge, which sort of reflects how important we think this field is in the area of journalism and media innovation. And so if you're interested in applying, it's open to everybody, and you should just check out newschallenge.org, #newschallenge, and more information will be available in September.
Maybe you can put that up on Twitter for us so everyone can follow.
I will do that.
All right, super. Thank you, Shazna. All right, so Steve Grove. Go for it. Steve Grove from Google. Tell us about your motivation, because you guys, you're on the cutting edge too.
Well, we're excited to be here. We're really proud to be sponsors of the Data Journalism Awards. I come from a new team at Google, actually. We're called the News Lab, and we're focused on promoting innovation at the intersection of media and technology. We do that through a tools effort to really get Google's tools in newsrooms around the world, through a data journalism focus area, and through programs that really tackle some of the bigger challenges that media faces today. We really feel like data journalism is at the heart of where Google can really help the media, and so we actually chose Jen not only to sponsor the Data Journalism Awards, but to relaunch Google Trends. Just yesterday, we now have real-time data on Google Trends. I suggest that you check it out if you have a moment at google.com/trends. But no better way for us, I think, to think about data and its role in media than to recognize some of the very best people in the world doing this work. So we're really proud to be here today and can't wait to meet all the winners up here on stage.
Excellent. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause. All right. Once I got there. Oh, no, you're sitting there. Yes, sir.
You want to take this?
Yeah, sure. Take your seats. Here you go. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are now about to find out the award winners. We have how many categories? 10 categories. And how many prize winners? 14. People are awake. I like that. Thank you. So, we have 14 prize winners. That's the good news. The bad news is I want to keep a good rhythm. So here's what's going to happen. We're going to announce the category. Then one of our jury members are going to be telling us who the winner is. We're going to get to see a film. And each winner will get a chance to have 30-second little acceptance speech. And then we roll on. So we keep a nice energy, so that way we have the cava that comes afterwards as well. So with that, I'd like to invite to the stage the other two members of the jury who are present with us, Mariana Santos. Where is Mariana? Yay! And Frédéric Filou. All right, come on up. You even have marked seats for you, and Mariana and Frédéric. All right, so let us get on with the show. So the first category this evening is for, hopefully there's a moment we have. There we go. The first category is data visualization of the year, starting with the large newsroom, and Alfredo Bustillo will be announcing the winner. The jingle, please. And the winner is...
Well, the award goes to Dub Friedman and Tynan DeBoll from the Wall Street Journal for battling infectious diseases in the 20th century, the impact of vaccines.
Come on down. We'll have the film.
Dub Friedman, I'm the tech lead here in the visuals department at the Wall Street Journal.
My name's Tynan DeBold. I am an information graphics coordinator. The Measles Project is about diseases that have been prevalent in America throughout the past, 100, 150 years. And it shows really one specific data point of when the vaccination came into use. So the original data we got was from this project called Project Tycho at the University of Pittsburgh, and it was, I think, week by week, state by state data. We knew that we wanted to do a heat map, from the onset, so that was nice to have, our end goal in sight. We just had to get there.
We spent a number of days aggregating, concatenating multiple documents. I think we ended up having roughly 20,000 data points. There was a lengthy internal debate about steps between colors and, what represented the, most incidents versus least incidents. The timing of our release was fantastic because of the, unfortunately because of the measles outbreaks throughout the United States. So it happened to be at the perfect time. After things got rolling, it was not surprising to see really, great interest in the graphic.
I thought it would do well, but it definitely exceeded expectations.
So, nice one, eh? So Dove and Tynan, they couldn't be with us, but we have, fortunately, Jose Juan, who is the European Graphics Director for the Wall Street Journal, to receive the award. So Jose Juan, the floor is yours. Thank you, bravo.
Thanks. Hold it up. That's actually Jovi Juan. But so they sent me a little thing to say, we're thrilled to have won the Data Visualization of the Year. We'd like to thank the jury for selecting our project out of all the fantastic entries. It's an honor and a privilege. and we're thankful that our visualization was so well received by our peers. And I guess on a personal note, these were guys who did work for me in New York, and I did see develop. Tynan actually, when I left the journal 2 years ago, was doing like very beginner, basic level high charts, and to see him doing this kind of work now is pretty amazing. And Dove is actually the tech lead of the journal's graphics department, and this is the kind of thing he does like on the weekends. So it shows you sort of like, and I guess, somebody who used to lead the team, the thing that I'm the most proud of seeing this happen is the culture that we spend so much time developing at the journal, which is a culture of learning and a culture of exploring and a culture of not placing limits on what somebody's job description is. So if I could, and I'm honored to be able to be here.
So one photograph for you, yeah. Alfredo, and a photograph. In front of the, right here, I'm going to take a photograph, if you would. Yeah. Come on in. You're going to take it around here? I want a little bit of orchestration. Here we go. Photograph, there you go. Say, wait. Say. Wait, we're going to get it in order. Photograph, you're good. Yay! All right, so note to self, it's not Bon Jovi, right? Sorry about that, Jovi. All right, so for the next award, I'm going to invite Simon Rogers up to announce the winner of the Data Visualization of the Year, continuing with Small Newsroom. So, Simon, tell us who might be the winner.
So exciting, it's an actual envelope. It's disappointingly not gold. I think note for next year.
It's the writing in the middle.
It's the writing in the middle. So, Data Visualization of the Year, Small Newsroom the winner is Matteo Moretti from Libera Università di Bolzano in Italy.
All right, roll the film. And Matteo, you can come down.
Statistics-based investigation and a series of qualitative interviews, People's Republic of Bolzano aimed at inviting citizens to discover who the members of the Chinese community living and working in the city are, what they think of Italy and of local culture and society. Contrary to the common belief, also spread by media, that Chinese people are invading the city, the project helped reveal that, while we are witnessing a small-scale migration of Chinese people to Bolzano, they are not at all creating a ghetto in the city. Rather, they are integrating within it.
I cinesi non muoiono mai. Ho imparato a leggere.
Il primo anno in cui ho vissuto qua, voi italiani sì, mi sembravate tutti dannatamente uguali.
I cinesi pensano solo ai soldi.
This project, resulting in a web-based long-form journalistic inquiry, features animated and interactive infographics, maps, and a series of qualitative interviews. Visit People's Republic of Bolzano and discover a new way to inform on complex phenomena in an engaging way.
Matteo, are you here? Come on down. Good news. Welcome, Matteo. A little acceptance speech, should you wish.
Okay, I will be very, very quick and fast. So first of all, thank you to my collaborators that couldn't come here, but that makes this possible. And then I will especially thank you, the jury, that makes this possible and encourage my research on visual journalism. So thank you.
Bravo! Simon, thank you. Made it. All right. The next category number 2, is with Shazna Nesso is going to come up, and we're going to present the winner of the Best Investigation of the Year, starting with the Large Newsroom. So, Shazna, tell us who we got.
Right, so the Best Investigation of the Year, Large Newsroom, is also possibly the longest title of the year as well. All right, drum roll. It goes to the International Consortium of Investigative Journalists, ICIJ, including Le Monde, The Guardian, and 75 media partners. Oh, it's up there.
There you go.
There we go. I don't need to do it. For Swiss leaks, murky cash sheltered by bank secrecy, and Luxembourg leaks, global companies' secrets exposed.
Come on down. Come on down. Come on down.
This is the stolen data that's shaking the Swiss banking world to its core.
El banco HSBC.
HSBC saw you through this.
Your bankers were helping people dodge tax.
Secret documents about Juncker's system in Luxembourg leaked to the International Consortium of Investigative Journalists.
The Swiss leaks investigation and the Luxembourg leaks investigation actually went to the heart of a major issue here, which is the issue of secrecy. We tackle these global stories in a global way. We actually involve reporters from dozens of countries.
We provide reporters in each country with the tools to search documents, to communicate, and we also provide them with data analysis so that they can investigate further in their own country.
Amazon, FedEx, IKEA, but also in there, a corporation entirely owned by the Government of Canada.
In both investigations, ICIJ created special news applications. In LuxLeaks, we published more than 500 secretive tax agreements. In SwissLeaks, we created an application that allowed people to see how many clients were connected to their countries, how much money they had.
I'd like to put on the record an apology for the unacceptable events that took place at our private bank in Switzerland.
There's been an enormous impact from these stories. We've seen criminal actions taken, we've got civil court cases happening, and we're actually also seeing some corporations starting to pay taxes where in the past they hadn't been paying taxes.
Bravo! And so, take the piggy. I know we have Marc Cabra, Milagros Salazar, and Johannes Christensen, and a couple more. All right, so someone like to make a little acceptance speech? Go for it.
Yes, we also have Ying Shang from University of Hong Kong. So thank you very much for this award. It's a great honor to receive this award. It's just 4 of us here, but we're representing the more than 200 journalists that have joined forces to do these 2 powerful data-driven investigations, including our team in Washington, D.C., who is watching, live streaming the conference, so cheers to them. Collaboration is actually the reason why we're here. Not a single newsroom, no matter how big, would have been able to pull this off and publish together in more than 70 countries, achieving global impact. I believe this award is also a recognition to my team, the Data Journalism Unit at the ICIJ. We didn't exist a year ago, and today, 1 year later, even though the ICIJ is a very small newsroom of only 11 people, we have half of the team working with data, doing data analysis and processing. And we also build tools and platforms to allow collaboration and foster better investigative journalism in an innovative way. I would like to say that all journalism, no matter what kind, big or small, relies on people giving information to journalists in some way. And sometimes they pay a big price for doing that and for simply doing their jobs. And right now, 2 whistleblowers and 1 of our journalists are facing jail in Luxembourg for doing just that. So we want to dedicate this award to them. Thank you.
Beautiful. Bravo, bravo. All right, thank you. I love it when there's meaning. Superlative. All right, so in category number 2, Best Investigation of the Year, continuing with the small newsroom, I'd like to bring up Mariana Santos to announce the winners. So, Best Investigation of the Year, continuing with the small newsroom. Mariana, ¿quién ha ganado? Who's won?
Dun, 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 dun.
Da, 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 da.
And the winner is Best Investigation of the Year, Small Newsroom, Fabiola Torres, Oscar Castilla, Antonio Cucho, David Hidalgo, Nelly Luna from Ojo Público in Peru.
Hey, whoa! Come on down, Fabiola. Fabiola, come on down.
Thank you.
informe que sale hoy en Ojo Público se dice todo a lo que se había comprometido Nadine Heredia.
Medio digital de periodismo de investigación que ha hecho una determinación, un hallazgo muy interesante.
Primero sacaron los Cornejo Leaks, es decir, casi podríamos decir que se tumbaron un ministro.
Creamos Ojo Público para explorar mejores formas de hacer periodismo e investigación en formato digital.
Nos hemos convertido en un laboratorio de innovación que mezcla las herramientas del periodismo tradicional con las nuevas narrativas digitales para contar mejores historias.
Hacemos análisis masivos de datos porque contribuyen a mejorar la calidad de las noticias.
Periodistas y programadores trabajamos para crear nuestras propias herramientas y aplicaciones que nos permiten contar mejores historias.
Las aplicaciones periodísticas permiten a la audiencia nuevas formas de interactuar con la noticia. Entendemos la información como experiencia.
Bravo! And Oscar Castilla and Nelly Luna, come on down to receive the award. Bravo. Take a photograph. Here you go. Photo op. All right. Si quieres decir algo?
Sorry, I'm going to speak in Spanish for my friends in Peru now. Gracias al GEN, gracias al jurado por confiar en este proyecto, en Ojo Público, una plataforma digital que apuesta por el periodismo de investigación, pero en nuevos formatos. Hemos estado en estos días escuchando que no importa la plataforma, lo importante es el contenido y en eso apostamos por Ojo Público. Este premio es para nuestro joven equipo de periodistas, Fabiola Torres, David Hidalgo, Antonio Cucho y César Soplín, y a todos los infatigables colaboradores que están detrás también de este proyecto, la comunidad Hackers en Lima, el Hackspace de la Universidad de Ingeniería y toda la comprometida audiencia que sigue a este sitio.
Gracias. Please, Oscar.
Yo solo quiero decir unas palabras a todo el equipo en Lima. En verdad han honrado el premio que nos están dando y gracias a todos.
All right, so thanks to everybody. Yeah, I was thinking of bringing out simultaneous translation, but I didn't go for it. So, anyway, lots of thanks. Well won. All right, so on to category number 3. Best News Data App of the Year, starting with the large newsroom. And for this, I'd like to invite up our sponsor, Marta Ozleska, who's head of marketing for PictoChart. Come on up. So, Marta, you're going to say a few words about PictoChart. Please tell us.
Yeah. Visual storytelling. It's a trend. It rides the waves of the internet, and it's not slowing down anytime soon. I'm from PictoChart, and it's always such an inspiration to see people change the lives of others, and simply by getting that message across. And visually transmitted information empowers creativity, and it encourages change in people. It sticks. It really makes a difference and makes people care about what we have to say. It allows them to feel and ultimately to take an action. So now to the award.
And the winner is, let's have we have a jingle. We have a jingle. Coming on in.
And the best news data app of the year is Bella Hurrell from BBC News in London, UK.
Bravo, BBC News! So, Bella, who I know couldn't make it, and said we have Amanda Farnsworth, the editor of the BBC News. Oh, there you are, Bella. Shocking.
Tall and quick or short and steady, a team player or more of a loner, there should be a sport that suits you.
Yes, and a quiz on the BBC News website can help you work out which one is your Commonwealth sport.
So you took it this morning. What did you come up with?
It said I'm good at cycling. I should do cycling.
What do you think it came out with for me?
Seeing as you're pretty tall, Darren, I would say something along the netball lines, maybe.
You're a disgrace. You are right. I feel like I need to work on my manliness.
Get inspired. Bravo! Want to take a photo? Take a photo. Take a photo in front of there. Have the photo up. Good to see you, Bella. Alrighty.
Thank you.
And a few words.
Yeah, well, obviously, we're accepting this on behalf of a really talented data team, and this particular thing was a partnership with our sport team, who have a really good sense of humour. What we did was put the user right at the heart of the story. It's another of our personal relevance calculators. We won for the class calculator we did a couple of years ago, and this is a sport one. And as I said, it puts the user right at the heart of the story. I must say, in an early prototype, when I put myself at the heart of the story, I came out as being best at rugby sevens. And I knew we had a bit of work to do, but we got there in the end. And great credit to Bella, who leads our team back in London incredibly well. Thanks very much indeed.
Bravo. All right, well done. Great to have a sense of humor, too. We love that. So keeping in category number 3 for the best news data app of the year, continuing with the small newsroom, Marta. And the winner is Marta.
There is Alejandro Fernandez and Andres Fernandez from El Financiero in Costa Rica.
Come on down, miss. Come on down.
La calculadora salarial gira en torno a dos preguntas básicas. ¿Cuál es el salario promedio que paga el mercado laboral a la persona que está usando la calculadora? Y cómo ese salario promedio puede ser afectado, ya sea que suba o baja exclusivamente por el efecto de la escolaridad, como terminar la secundaria o sacar un posgrado. La respuesta a esas preguntas es importante porque dar a conocer a los ciudadanos cómo el mercado laboral recompensa esa inversión que hacen en la educación tiene efectos reales en si esas personas continúan en el colegio o si siguen estudiando en la universidad.
Para poder medir el efecto de la escolaridad en el salario de los costarricenses se recurre a un modelo de regresión lineal, que es un modelo estadístico bastante utilizado, en el que se incorporaron otras 6 variables, además de la educación, para poder aislar el efecto de la educación en el salario real promedio de los costarricenses.
La calculadora salarial pretendió convertir esto en un juego, en el cual las personas desde un móvil o desde una computadora podían estimar el salario promedio de alguien como ellos, pero además podían interactuar con 7 variables para ver cómo cada una de ellas podía subir o bajar su salario promedio.
El reto al crear este web app era generar algo simple sin perder la profundidad que tienen estas bases de datos. Cada variable con la que interactúan los usuarios tiene una inmediata respuesta de la interfaz. La aplicación fue desarrollada pensando en acercar los datos a los usuarios de una forma efectiva y personalizada.
Luego de 3 semanas de publicada, esta aplicación junto a los reportajes que derivaron de ella generaron la misma visitación que recibe el Financiero en una semana completa. El equipo del Financiero agradece a tan prestigioso jurado este reconocimiento mundial.
Bravo to El Financiero! All right, so get another photo up here. Come on in. And you will notice that this is not Alejandro Fernandez, neither Andres Fernandez. This is Esteban Bermúdez Ureña, accepting on behalf of the Fernandez. So come on down.
So unfortunately, Alejandro and his team couldn't make the trip from Costa Rica, so We're longtime friends, and taking advantage I live here, he sent some words on their behalf. We would like to thank our editors at El Financiero newspaper for putting so much trust and hope on this project and investing resources on high-quality journalism. El Financiero has a very small newsroom with only one full-time data journalist. So this recognition is a strong push for our future investment in these new forms of journalism, which are quite scarce in Costa Rica and Latin America. We also want to thank the jury for supporting La Calculadora Salarial. We're pretty sure that after this prize, the amount of young Costa Ricans estimating the returns they will receive from staying in school will increase, and so will increase the chances that they will not become school dropouts. Your decision helps us better fulfill our goal. And finally, they want to recall one fundamental idea from the journalist and programmer Adrian Holovati. Newspapers need to stop the story-centric worldview. That view makes information get distilled into a big blob of text, a newspaper story that has no chance of being repurposed. Thank you.
Excellent. Well done. It's lovely to hear how these awards can actually have a ripple effect and do things back in the country. So thanks for sharing those words with us. So moving on, thank you, to category number 4, Data Journalism Website of the Year. And to announce the winner, I'd like to have Mariano Blechman. Come on down. Mariano is a Knight Fellow at ICFJ. And thanks for coming down, because normally it was going to be Justin Aronson, but he fell sick, so you were stepping in. Thanks for coming on down.
Yeah, I'm not Justin Aronson, but I hope that he recovered from a Pakistan trip. And
so tell us who the winner is, Mariano.
So the winner is actually Florencia Coelho from La Nación Argentina.
Come on down!
And this guy is neither.
This year, La Nación continued with its effort to use data as a new raw material for journalism and to open data in Argentina through its initiative and website, La Nación Data. Here we continue discovering stories and opening datasets built from scratch, then transformed, opened, and shared. Building data platforms is productive, as they are telling not one but many stories, and when updated may be used as dashboards to monitor the rise of new stories. We play with WorldCup data. We reuse 4 times our collaborative open data platform Voz Data to engage citizens in investigative reporting. Congresoscopio is a new app to open data from Congress votes that generates embeddable interactive data visualizations for others to reuse. The Open Data Catalog provides a data-ready, unique destination. We are strongly committed to activate the local community, so besides sharing, we cover the open data movement in our daily homepage and blog. Our new series of data-ready includes economic, industrial, and employment indicators that are frequently used in reporting. We update these manually from PDFs. We publish stories with Twitter data implementing Twitter Reverb, CartoDB maps. We've translated books to share in Spanish and repeated our 3rd edition of DataFest, open to the data mining, hacktivism, and journalism community. We do all this effort to report, share, and open data as we believe that putting this public data in hands of citizens and journalism, especially in countries without FOIA law, can help keep governments accountable, accelerate change, and even save lives. So thank you so much for this award.
Spectacular. Come on down. And a photograph. As you will notice, this is not Florencia Coelho. This is Martin Rodriguez Yebra coming down to in exchange. So, Martin.
Well, just want to thank the members of the jury. I'm receiving this prize on behalf of Florencia and a group of very, very talented professionals that work with her. And, well, it's a real honor for us to have this prize. And, well, it's encouraging to keep working in this direction and trying to improve and be better next year. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Martin. Thank you, Mariano. So, category number 5 is the best individual portfolio, and we have the pleasure of having Paul Steiger announce to us the winner. Paul, come on down. Come on up. Come on over. Back in. All right, and the envelope for Paul. Drum roll.
Best individual portfolio. The award goes to Rob Barry from the Wall Street Journal.
My name's Rob Barry. I'm a reporter at the Wall Street Journal. The past year, I worked on a number of different projects, including police shootings and how they're not tracked by the FBI, at least accurately. I worked on a series of stories about Medicare overbilling and fraud. I worked on stories involving activist investors leaking information about their plans before making their public announcements, and worked on a number of stories about stockbrokers and the ways in which regulators don't necessarily disclose everything they know about them. It's probably the most complicated thing I did in the past year. Involved using an analysis that's basically the same that epidemiologists and criminologists use to find clusters of crime or disease, and the algorithm is called the spatial scan statistic. And working with the professor at Harvard who kind of invented the technique, we ran a comparable analysis on our stockbroker data and identified these 16 clusters across the country where you had not just a high rate of troubled stockbrokers, but a statistically significant high rate of troubled stockbrokers. Ultimately, we documented this practice called plate licking, where a stockbroker will have an early bird special dinner, and they invite a bunch of retirees in the community to come have free dinner, and then at the dinner they'll pitch some investment. And in many cases we found that we looked at, those investments were completely unsuitable for people who were 75, 80 years old.
Bravo. Photo. One photo. One back in there. As you can tell, this is not Rob. This is Jovi Juan. I'm getting this right. I practice.
So Rob also sent me some words to say. All I can say is thank you so much to my editors and the Journal, who have provided me with marvelous opportunities, and the Global Editors Network for recognizing my work. It is an honor. I wish I could be there to thank them in person, of course.
Thank you.
And if I could, I would like to mention, I would like to dedicate both of these awards to our graphics chief, who died just a few weeks ago at the age of 46. His name was Seth Hamlin, and he was a great hero in the newsroom. And I'd like to dedicate both these.
Beautiful.
So.
Thank you for that, Jovi. So for those of you who are following, category number 6, there is not going to be a prize. The best use of data and breaking news was not attributed, so we're going to skip directly into category number 7. And for this, I have the pleasure of having Frédéric Filou come on up to announce. And we have a little surprise. So, with I Say Nothing More. Jingle, please.
Thank you.
Get the jingle first.
And yes, there is a little surprise, because the awards, there is a tie. The awards go to Eva Young, and I hope she will forgive me for my pronunciation, and Lars Nogvald Pedersen from Berlingske in Denmark. And for the and mainly Min-Hee Shaw from ProPublica in New York City for Treatment Triggers, the Doctor and Service in Medicare Part B.
So we're going to roll the 2 films. Come on down.
Who do you call late at night? Who do you text late at night? Where do you use your credit card? What is your location? Every day, every minute. 2 leading politicians, Sofie Carsten Nielsen and Jens Joel, both from Danish government parties, provided Danish daily Berlingske access to all their private metadata. We mapped them to every last detail. In June 2013, whistleblower Edward Snowden revealed how American and British intelligence agencies collect so-called metadata. At Berlingske we wondered, how much metadata exists on one single person? How much can you deduce about a person based on metadata? Is it dangerous to lose control of metadata? 18,000 emails, 36,000 text and iMessages, 34,000 location points from cell phone apps. The interactive universe shows intimate patterns of how the two politicians live, where they go, who they meet, who they talk to. The graphics illustrate Jens Juul's flights for 2 years. It also disclosed his political network. Jens Juul's metadata even revealed unknown political task forces in the Danish parliament. The data universe shows where Sofie Carsten Nielsen moves, day by day, minute by minute. The project shows the power of metadata. Both politicians estimated that Berlingske did hold enough data to ruin their political careers.
We're going to go out, bravo. We're going to roll the second film, and then we'll have both the prize winners right after us for the photos and everything.
At ProPublica, we don't just cover the news. We expose abuses of power and set the stage for reform. We do this with investigative reporting, yes, but we also do it with news applications that turn piles of numbers into stories about how our world works. Treatment Tracker empowers our readers to take control of their healthcare by checking up on their medical providers. The app uses Medicare's first release of data on payments to doctors and other health professionals. While some news outlets published quick stories on how much doctors were earning from Medicare, ProPublica took a deeper look with the Treatment Tracker. We show readers how doctors bill Medicare for their office visits, the bread and butter of their practices. What does this tell you that other news coverage can't? How doctors actually practice medicine, the services they perform, the percentage of patients who receive those services, and how often. For office visits, Medicare pays more money for more complex appointments, with Level 5 being the most expensive. Treatment Tracker shows which doctors routinely bill for those more expensive visits, and puts it in context by comparing them to doctors in the same specialty and state. For example, this Michigan OBGYN charged Level 5 office visits for virtually all of his Medicare patients in 2012, way more than other doctors like him. Like all of our apps, Treatment Tracker took longer to produce than the quick hits published off the news. But at ProPublica, we believe it's worth the time and the effort to do stories in a way that makes it possible for readers to actually understand how it affects them.
Bravo. So come on down. So Berlingske, you got to take a photograph with Mr. Paul, right? Come on down. There you go. Come in front of the kakemono. Move over there in the lighting. Beautiful. We want beautiful lighting. Get in there. There you go. One. Or you want to do a full one? You want to do everyone together? Or everyone together then. Frederick, get in the middle then. Get it in the middle. In the middle with the. There you go. All right. Hey. That's true. So what I just for the sake of I'd like to have one for you and then one for you as well. We can do that. Give them if you hand them over the prize. Fotografia, por favor. I want to have because you're going to like one by yourselves. I'm going to show you're going to. Paul, you're in. You're sorry. 1 second. 1 second. No, Paul, you're in. You're in with these with Berlingske. There we go. But they're all Berlingske. You're all Berlingske. I am so silly. I'm so sorry.
I'm Solito.
Yeah. Oh, I get you. So, no, that's it. They have a prize. They have a prize, right? You're going to go in. Oh, I am so confused. All right, you're good. Take the floor.
We don't mind bringing home another prize. So what was not mentioned perhaps is that besides Lars and I in the project was also Jesper Voldenhoff and Zoran Todorovic. In October 2013, Lars and I were eating wine gums with Glenn Greenwald in a hotel room in Rio. We were trying to convince him to give us the NSA documents for Denmark. And in the end, we did not get them, another newspaper did, but that threw us into an alternative path where we wanted to do our own metadata project. So thank you to Glenn Greenwald for sending us down that path, otherwise we wouldn't have gotten this prize today. Also thank you to our boss at the investigative desk at Berlingske, Morten Frick, for the trust and confidence he always shows us. And thanks to the editor-in-chief, Jens Grund, for giving us the time to do it.
Thank you. I'm so sorry. And representing ProPublica?
Paul Steiger.
Paul Steiger, representing ProPublica. All right, well done. This is yours. for Minhee Cho, who is going to come in.
Yes.
You are standing in for, you want to say something more?
Sure.
Go ahead.
I'm just very briefly, what I'm really standing in for is the whole data team at ProPublica, which has made a big cause in digging into the data that exposes the excessive cost and the often low quality of care that we in America have because of our strangely mixed system of medical care. And data like this allow individuals to see how their own medical prices can be artificially increased. It also gives government investigators a pathway to reduce the problem. So my role in this was I hired Scott Klein in 2008. And he and his colleagues have done the rest, so this belongs to them. Thank you very much.
Bravo. Thank you. Merci, Frédéric. Merci. I have personally used Dollars for Ducks, so I can say I subscribe, and I think it's a great thing. So, moving on to category number 8, best entry from a small newsroom, and I have Steve Grove. Come on up, Steve. Tell us more. Steve, what do you got?
All right, the winner for category 8, best entry from a small newsroom, goes to Duncan Clark and Robin Houston from Kiln in London, UK, for the past, the present, and future of CO2.
Come on down.
In the middle of the 19th century, during the Industrial Revolution, countries began burning more fossil fuels, spewing more carbon dioxide into the atmosphere.
Hello from the Kiln studio. We're really delighted to win our second Data Journalism Award. Many thanks to the judges, the sponsors, the organisers and everyone else involved. We've worked on lots of projects since the last awards. First World War, made with The Guardian, is a documentary that enriches traditional filmmaking with interactive mapping and data graphics, all in multiple languages. Our project for SciDevNet uses small multiples to explore global urbanisation trends. The ticker we made for The Guardian's climate campaign shows the staggering rates of oil, coal and gas extraction in real time or in your lifetime. Our squishy maps at carbonmap.org got a redesign and relaunch, and we visualised research by think tanks and universities on subjects ranging from sexual health and economic inequality to the rise of megacities. Our winning piece, created for the World Resources Institute, explores carbon emissions by country, from the Industrial Revolution through to future projections. It combines multiple datasets to show the annual flow of emissions and the cumulative stock of carbon in the air. Like much of our work, it's a talkie, so users can watch it like a video, explore it interactively, or both. This is made possible by our open source talkie library.
You can find all our projects at kiln.it, and if you'd like to discuss working with us, send us an email or come and see us in London.
Thanks very much.
Thanks.
Excellent. Right, you know the drill. Come on in.
Congratulations.
And That's good. Take it. Bravo, bravo.
Thanks so much to everyone for this. Hello?
Yes, the last laugh's on you.
Thanks so much to everyone for this. We won last year but weren't able to be here, so it's great to be here in person and to be surrounded by so many people whose work we admire and who do similar things to us. I'd also like to thank the World Resources Institute who commissioned this piece. They were a great partner to work with because not only did they have lots of good data, but they gave us a very blank sheet of paper and let us run with our imagination. And also to The Guardian for featuring it and running it. Thanks very much.
Thanks. Bravo. Right. I like the sense of humor in that film. So, moving on to category number 9, General Excellence, Juror's Choice. And for this, I'd like to invite Simon Rogers back up on the stage. We're going to back up over here, if you will. Simon, come on over and tell us more.
So this award was really, we wanted a category where we could reflect the amazing work by somebody who wasn't kind of otherwise a winner. And there were quite a few people to choose from and a fantastic animated discussion. But the winners are Al Jazeera America for 3 projects, Michael Keller for his amazing individual portfolio, Lam Vo and Ryan Piggott for In Between in California, and Jayati Vora for Jim Crow Returns.
Bravo!
Al Jazeera America, using data to bring you the human story, innovating the way the world gets its news.
We did a number of data-driven stories around women's access to healthcare, police misconduct, and voting rights.
Terms of service, understanding our role in the world of big data.
When reporting on technology, it's always hard to illustrate these vague or abstract concepts, particularly kind of the future of technology. So the idea for a graphic novella is we could come up with kind of visual ways to represent those ideas. It's also a way to kind of bring new people into our audience. It's been a great success.
In Between in California represents the best of Al Jazeera America's multimedia reporting.
What we really wanted to do is to highlight the lives of those who are struggling with these issues every single day.
Using photography, multimedia, and text to tell the stories of 5 households through the lens of major family expenses, transportation, housing, childcare, healthcare, and food.
By collecting data about individual households, we really wanted other people to empathize, to show the context of what these people have to face every single day.
Jim Crow Returns.
Investigative reporter Greg Ballast came to us with a story about this program called Interstate Crosscheck.
Problems in methodology. There's over 1 million middle names that are mismatched.
Al Jazeera America's investigation finds that minorities and immigrants are targeted more than others.
This is voter suppression, pure and simple.
Innovating the way data is used to tell the human story.
On behalf, come on down, please. Abderrahim Fukara, accepting the award on behalf of everybody else. Please. Thank you. Take a photograph. There's one. You know the drill now. Abderrahim, would you like to say a few words?
Absolutely. Thank you to Jen. Thank you to Barcelona. This award is a tribute to the people who've won it, obviously. It's a tribute to Al Jazeera America. It's a tribute to everybody at Al Jazeera at large. It's a tribute to the people who opened the doors of and windows of their joy and pain for us to cover. It's a tribute to the other journalists who toil for us all, putting their lives on the line, either in jails or in danger zones. And finally, this award is one contribution from Al Jazeera to the global conversation that must be had about the decency and the peace that we are all entitled to wherever we live in the world. Thank you.
Thank you. That's wonderful. So, category number 10, moving right along, public choice. And for this, I'd like to bring down Chris Avotz from Infogr.am, another one of our key sponsors. Thank you. Come on down, Chris. Welcome. So I hear you have some words for us. You have got a good slide for us. I know that.
Do I?
Yes, you do.
I hope to see it, okay.
Somewhere.
It's a real honor to be here, and I'm slightly freaking out because last time I was in such a big room full of journalists was when, as a business student, I sneaked into investigative journalism classes to learn how to answer tough questions if such a day comes. But there we are. At Infogr.am team, we believe in data literacy as a skill that general society should master in a level as a classical literacy. Thus, we build tools to enable anyone in creating easy and interactive data visualizations. Thus, we're super happy to support all activities around bringing out the excellence in data visualization to a general public. So, the awards?
With that, the envelope. Yeah. Chris, all yours.
And by the way, we didn't come up with the winner. The winner was decided by roughly 5,500 voters. And the winner is
There's your slide, by the way.
Data Guelle. Yes? Data Guelle?
Data Guelle.
Data Guelle. My French is terrible, sorry.
Ghislaine Jassé from Data Guelle, France Télévisions, France 4. Ghislaine can't be here, but in honor of Ghislaine, please a round of applause. Nothing like having to do some French, right?
Yeah.
This is your slide.
Thank you, yes.
That's it. Did you want to say a word on it?
No.
It's just another, it speaks for itself. All right. Chris from Infogr.am, thank you very much. Thanks again for the sponsorship. All right. Now, we have the next is called the Special Citation. And for this, I'd like to have Alfredo Bustillo back on up to talk us about the Special Citation. And before, we have the jingle. And the winner
Special citation, the winner is Julius Stroger from Berliner Morgenpost, Germany.
Welcome. Roll the film.
25 years after the fall of the wall, around 3.5 million people live in Berlin. And the city is growing, housing is becoming scarce. The story of Berlin's population since the fall of the wall is, however, not one of a continuous boom. It is rather one of massive interchange. Around 3 million arrived, but almost 3 million also departed. When we worked on the application, we asked ourselves, which of Berlin's districts has the most new arrivals, and where do these arrivals come from? And even though there is no wall anymore, our data showed a new border in Berlin. Inside the S-Bahn ring, only 1/3 of the people are actually born here. The interactive application uses data analysis to provide a detailed picture of Berlin's residents, which both confirms and challenges prejudices. We researched each and every arrival and departure since 1990, and the results of our research are freely available online as open data. Our interactive application also shows how diverse Berlin is. And when we map Berlin's migrants, we learn that the course of the wall is even today still visible. The application was produced by the interactive team of the Berliner Morgenpost.
Let's give it up. So, as you will see, we have Moritz and Christopher representing Julius Stroger for the. You take the photograph. You got the photograph? Yeah, in the photograph. Yeah. Hey, come on. There you go. Do you like to take a word? Do you like to have a word? Go for it.
Well, hi, Jan Summit. This is Christopher Möller. I'm Moritz Klack. We are representing the team of the Berliner Morgenpost, and it's really awesome to receive this great prize.
Yeah, it's also nice for us to be here as from a local newspaper, because normally, as you might see, you don't get this much of attention from an international audience. So it's pretty nice to be here. And we also want to say thank you in the name of the team, which is, as you have seen, Julius Tröger, André Petzold, Max Bünke, David Wendler, and the two of us. So thank you very much for this great event and this amazing award, and good night.
Bravo. Ladies and gentlemen, we have concluded the prizes for the Data Journalism Award. There are a couple last things between us and Java time. And the first is that I'd like to announce the Editors Lab Final. So Evangeline wanted me to announce to you, in no particular order, who are the 3 best teams in the final of the Editors Lab. And they are, and the winner will be announced tomorrow, either the Times of London, France 24 RFI, and the third, Datum from Austria. So watch this space for that tomorrow. And before I finish with the final logistics, I'd like to bring onto the floor Bertrand to give a few words of closure, and I will finish with logistics afterwards.
No logistics for me? No logistics?
No logistics. I'll take care of that.
Okay, thank you. I remember when we created with Ricardo Kirschbaum and a few editors-in-chief in March 2011. We discussed about the new territories for journalism. And I was alone in my office in Paris, but it was an evidence that data journalism would become not big data, but very big for journalism, for the future of journalism. Nevertheless, I can tell you that March 2011, you had maybe 300 people working on that. It was 4 years ago. Today you have thousands and thousands. The first year we received 100 projects. And we started with Google. I told them, maybe we will have 70 projects, and we had 100 projects. We are so happy to receive 100 projects, mostly from Europe and the US. And then 300 projects the second year, 400 projects the third year, and the fourth year, almost 500 projects the fourth year, same number this year, but very high quality. And you could see the number of data journalists worldwide, thousands and thousands today. So really, we want to push the Data Journalism Awards. Long life to the DJA. It was the first ceremony, and again, I hope we'll have many, many ceremonies like this, because there is a lot of enthusiasm. Enthousiasme en français. You could see that I am French. So a lot of enthusiasm. So forget the complaints about the death of journalism. Forget the cries. Forget that. Just do the job as you did here with so many young ladies, young journalists inventing the future of journalism. Thank you.
Woo! Bravo! All right, well, I hope you've enjoyed that. I hope you enjoyed the films that explain the awards, and it's been a pleasure to be with you this evening. So, last couple of things. So, tomorrow morning, there is the masterclass at the CCB which is at 8:30. For those of you who signed up, it's 8:30. If you'd like to go, you are still welcome to go for the masterclass tomorrow morning, 8:30 on the first floor. Meanwhile, at 9:30, and I'd like this to be a 9:30 sharp, sort of my Swedish friends' northern time, then we have the pleasure of having Dan Gilmore with us. So I'd really like for you to be there for him, author and professor and media guru, all around well-known, Dan Gilmore.
One more word. Be in Sala Teatre at 9:30, please, because you will have a very strong speech from Dan. So please don't arrive at 10, but at 9:30.
All right, so you'll be there at what time? Thank you. All right, so now they're going to have some kava time. There's a beautiful surprise waiting for you. And then we have the buses between 10:30 and 11 o'clock going every 5 minutes back down to the CCCB. And I would like to give one final round of applause to the jury. Thank you for everyone for coming. Bravo. Please go up. There's signs to get to the kava. Superbe, hein?